Alhamdulillah, that is praise be to Allah. So now we're just about done with this first section of verses of Quran 249 through 252. So we ended speaking to, and did not God check one set of people by means of another? The earth would indeed be full of mischief, but Allah is full of bounty to all the worlds. Allah cares for everybody, even those people that we immediately would call oppressors. Let's go back. Let's go back to Omar. You go back to Omar. Omar was going to kill the Prophet before he came to Al-Islam. Khalid bin Walid, another example, who became known as Saifullah, who became the sword of Allah. But he, in the Battle of Badr, he was the decisive force that killed many Muslims at that time when he was the enemy. He was an enemy of the Muslims at that time. But what did he become later? Okay? What did Umar become later? Abu Sufyan. So many others. So it's like, okay, even some of those people that you're looking at right now, and you see them as, he got a money plan, he got a power plan, he got a politics plan. Okay, good. Who knows? Who knows? Listen, Allah can get in anybody's heart. Yeah, he could get into the president's heart. Inshallah, he could get into the president's heart and say, today I'm going to do things completely different. Hey, Allah is in charge of everything. All those possibilities exist. And everything else that you're talking about, thinking in terms of, oh, it's this, and it's them, and they're doing this, and they're doing that. Okay, that's fine. But let me say this, just parenthetical footnote. It's like a part of the tricks of this game that's going on right now is to get you to think that it's just one thing that's making this happen. Oh, it's one disease, one affliction that's caused by one thing, and everybody's looking around in different places for the one thing that's doing it. I don't care. You choose whatever theory is out there in terms of that. But no matter, Allah will do what He wills, and we trust that. We trust that. And so it's like, what did you already have what's going on today in your mind? Yeah, this is what's going to happen. No, you didn't. And it's the same way with the solution. Same way with the end. We don't know what is going to be. MashaAllah, we hope for the best. The Quran tells us that we, the believers, live between fear and hope. That's what gives us our form. That's what gives us our character. We have fear about what potential consequences may come. But we also have hope that those consequences won't reach us, and that the threat will be handled in Allah's own way, in His own good time, in a way that we won't suffer. But in the meantime, there's a form that you have to maintain in doing that. So that even the antagonisms of fear and hope put you in the right heart, mind state. Inshallah. All right. So God, His bounty is full. He's full of bounty for all the world. So don't think that Allah hates Wall Street. Allah hates corporate people. Allah hates the media. Allah hates the pharmacy industry. Allah hates. No. Allah cares for all. Allah cares for all. The only thing wrong with any of those institutions that I just mentioned is the wrongness being done with and through them, under the force and the power of those who have the wrong heart, mind, spirit, and attitude toward the human being. And they are not outside of Allah's sight. They are not outside of Allah's sight. Khair and shar. There's benefit and there's harm in all those areas that we talked about. There's benefit that comes from technology, yes, but there's potential harm from technology. There's benefit that comes from pharmacology, yes, there's potential harm that comes from pharmacology. There's benefit that comes from government, and yes, there's harm that comes from government. Allah, khayrihi wa sharrihi min Allah ta'ala. وَقَدْرِ خَيْرِهِ وَشَرِّهِ مِنَ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى. The measure of potential benefit and potential harm in everything and everybody is with Allah. Okay, so let Allah handle His business and you handle yours. I'm not saying I wouldn't be honest if I'm saying don't do anything, sit down, be quiet. No, I'm just saying just have the right attitude, be in the right mode, so that you can have. There's this thing that's called beta abilities, BETA, beta abilities, And beta abilities are the abilities to use your abilities. Okay, imagine whatever LeBron James. He come to the game, but he been taking drugs the night before. He taking drugs. Period. I'm talking about illicit drugs, right? It's like, and then he come to the game. Is he going to be as effective as he would be were he not under the influence? Yeah, that's he's undermined his beta abilities. Beta abilities are the abilities to use your abilities. So if you are not in the right state of mind, heart, spirit, disposition, then you can have the skill. Mashallah, I'd love to be wrong, but what I'm seeing is like an Antonio Brown, right? That's just what I'm seeing. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe I am. But it's like, man, you got all those skills. You got all those talents. You're like the number one guy in your position in the whole field. What is wrong with you? Right? I'm just using that as an example of beta abilities. He has lost and does not have the beta abilities. He has all the other abilities, but he lacks the beta abilities. Okay. My conversation to you is don't lose your beta abilities. Don't lose what will cost you your beta abilities? Fear, disquiet, uneasiness, anxiety, insecurity, discouragement, doubt, ignorance, whatever. It's like those things, So that's what I'm saying. It's like, don't undermine your own beta abilities. And how do you not undermine your own beta abilities? Believe in God and do what the Prophet tells you to do under all circumstances. You do that, alhamdulillah, then your natural abilities are always available to you. Very important. Okay, so Allah cares for all. So don't think that, it's God against everybody in the world that's not a Muslim. No. It's not God against everybody in the White House and everybody in big business and everybody on Wall Street. No. It's always a few secret cabal, cadre, what have you, Satan and his host. They're doing what they're doing, and they are not outside of Allah's scope. They are in Allah's scope. God has already said from the very beginning, I'll fill hell with you and whoever follows you. He's just a trial for all of us. The situation that he creates and how we respond to those situations. Very important. So now we can come to the last of this section of verses that we've chosen. 2:252. It says, these are the signs of Allah. These are the signs of Allah. We rehearse them to you in truth. Verily, you are one of the apostles. And this was to the Prophet. The Prophet is being told, look at the situation of Badr. Look at the situation that you're facing. Because the Prophet had to be encouraged too. Allah had to encourage him. You read Surah 93 and 94, Ad-Duha, and Surah Al-Shahr. Those verses were verses of encouragement to the Prophet. He needs to be encouraged. And God says in the it wasn't that he was discouraged, but he has a human heart. So the human heart is one that it feels pain and difficulty and stress. God says in the Quran, we know that the things that they say are hard on your mind, but don't think that they're bad for you. They are good for you. Okay? But he was a human being. Rather, the Prophet was a human being, and as such, he had the same universal experiences that human beings have. Joy, sadness, hope, fear, all those kinds of things challenge him as well. But God, and he's facing more than any of us can imagine to face. No matter what we're facing, even in this moment right now, none of it compares to what the Prophet, Allah, peace be upon him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and upon the Prophet, peace be upon him, Allah made him a model for everybody in every situation. For everybody in every situation. So what does it mean? He had to suffer everything, universally speaking, that abstractly represents anything that anyone would ever have to face, because he's supposed to be a model for all who believe in Allah in the last day and remember God much. So it's like, okay, so he has to go through this and that and this and that and model how you're supposed to respond under those circumstances. Nothing that we experience, nothing that we go through compares to what the prophet went through. So he's always a model for us, males and females, always a model for us as to this is how you deal with the most traumatic situations, the most challenging situations in your life. Do this. If you do that, you're going to be just fine. And so the message is to him first. These are the signs of Allah that we rehearse to you in truth. Verily, you are one of the apostles. Praise be to Allah. Prophet Muhammad, Khatam al-Nabiyyin, the last of the prophets, peace be upon him. And when we say, even though we're not looking at the Arabic, the apostles, it could be saying Rasul. Mashallah. Either way, he was both a Rasul and a Nabi. He was the last of the Nabi, the last to receive revelation from God by the agency of the angel Jibril, etc. That kind of revelation. But he's also a messenger, someone that brings a message and that models that message for the people that he brings the revelation to. Alhamdulillah. So that is the end of that section, 249 and 252. So God willing, next time we speak, we will look at this hadith that we started to address, and it is of the Dajjal, and there's a lot of instruction to go with that, and God knows best. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.